Welcome back to the class on human resource management. Today we will talk about, in this lecture we will talk about strategic human resource management. So, let us get on with it. Some sources, I have referred to a number of research papers for this particular lecture, and the details are on the slide. You will get to see the slides, and of course, I have referred to the book by Gomez, Mejia, Balkan and Cardy, and the book by Schuler and Jackson. Sorry, there is a paper by Schuler and Jackson, and I have also referred to this to a paper in the book by Gilmore and Williams. And so, all the resources, all the sources that I have referred to are here on the first slide that you will get. Okay. What is strategic human resource management? Strategic human resource management, there are various definitions. The one I will focus on is the pattern of planned human resource deployments, the last one here, the pattern of planned human resource deployments and activities intended to enable an organization to achieve its goals, which is nothing but management of a firm's. The first point is the explanation. The strategic human resource management refers to management of a firm's human resources in such a way so as to achieve strategic objectives of the firm. Very simple, all these definitions encompass a whole lot of detail, but very simply stating, strategic human resource management deals with the achievement of the strategic objectives of an organization by managing its human resources in the most appropriate manner. So, how do we get people to do what they need to do in order to help the organization achieve the objectives that it has laid down for its development over the course of the next 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. So, okay. Why strategic management? The reason why we focus on strategic management, or why we need human resources also to be strategically planned, is to help a firm achieve competitive advantage by lowering costs, by increasing sources of product and service differentiation, or by both. What do we mean by this statement? Competitive advantage means having an advantage over the competitors in the industry. Now, when we talk about competitors, we are talking about other people, other organizations who are offering the same product or similar set of products and services that we are offering, who are selling what we are selling or something similar. When we talk about competitive advantage, we are talking not about overtaking them, we are talking about having something in our offering that they do not have, that gives us an edge over what they provide. What do we have that others do not have, because of which our buyers, our clients prefer us over them? What do I have? What is so unique in the range of products and services that I am offering that helps me get an advantage over the others? What do I have? What additional benefit can I offer to my clients? That is what we mean by competitive advantage. And it is not just one thing. What is it that I have that I can sustain over a long period of time so as to stay ahead of the game? Okay. Competitive strategies. In order to attain competitive advantage, we have some strategies, some things that we do in order to stay ahead of our competitors. One thing that we can do is taking a strategic initiative. Strategic initiative is nothing but the ability to capture control of strategic behavior in the industries in which a firm competes. Strategic initiative is doing something extra, changing the game, doing something that motivates others to do what we are doing. So, I do something differently from others that is more beneficial to my clients, that the others are motivated to follow. For example, when we were growing up, the concept of after sales service was not very prevalent. Okay. So, you bought a washing machine from a seller, and if the washing machine, if there was some fault, then you would go to somebody else to get it fixed. Somebody somewhere decided that if I sell the washing machine, I can also sell the service after that washing machine. So, you buy, I will not take the name of any brand, but somebody decided that okay, a shop sells the washing machine, but the shop also has people trained in repairing the washing machines that are either faulty at the time of sale or have problems after a period of selling, after use. Okay. So, they started coming up with the certified or authorized service agents. Somebody decided that this was a strategy they could use to keep their clients. Now, washing machine, when we were growing up, it was a luxury. You know, you bought one washing machine, you took good care of it, and you did not need to buy another one for the next 10, 15, 20 years. But what happened was, after using a washing machine for a period of time, we were in a position to tell our neighbors and our friends and our family members that, okay, this brand has worked well for me, so why don't you also go ahead and buy it. So, the word of mouth theory was in action at that point of time. Okay. So, when we talk about strategic initiative, we are talking about a behavior, a pattern, something that we do that others don't. One company decided that we are going to offer service. If you buy this washing machine, somebody from our organization will come and repair it for you free of cost for a period of 1 year or 2 years, and will only charge you for the additional parts that may be required. So, that is a strategic initiative. Okay. And then the rest of the people were forced to follow, and they said, okay, if brand A is doing it, why can't I do it? Then brand B followed suit, and then brand C followed suit, and then slowly it became the industry norm. Okay. Competitive strategies that can be used to gain competitive advantage: innovation strategy, used to develop products or services different from those of competitors. Okay. So, when we were growing up, let us just stick with the example of a washing machine. We had a washing machine, and clothes used to move around in that machine, and then you would take the clothes out and then you would hang them out to dry. And then there was a concept of a dryer. So, you had a washing machine and a dryer, two drums separate, and you would find different places to put them in. And then somebody said, maybe we can have a semi-automatic washing machine. Okay. So, you would have clothes were washed in one, and then you would put them in the other compartment to dry. So, you took them out and you put them in the other compartment to dry, and the drums were joined. So, instead of having two drums, rotating drums in different places, two separate machines that required two separate plugs, some innovator decided to put both the drums in the same frame and have one plug, have one power source to run both of these together. Okay. So, that is innovation. Two things that are required. Anybody who uses a washing machine can also use a dryer, because these two things go hand in hand. Similarly, with blenders. Okay. So, I mean, various things, you know, we used to have the gas oven, the gas stove, and then somebody said, okay, a cooking range would be helpful. Why? Because both need gas to run. So, you build a bigger box, and then you have an oven, and that is fed by the same source of gas or electricity or whatever. So, you innovate, you add things that you know are going to go together. All right. So, that is innovation strategy. Enhancement strategy, enhancing product and or service quality. So, in order to gain an advantage over your competitors, you say, okay, we are offering the same product, but we will offer you better service. And how do you know that this is better service? Maybe we'll whatever we repair will last you longer. So, we assure you that once the repair person comes to your house, you will not need repairs for the next 1 year. We will do such a good job of what we are doing that whatever is repaired will not break down for the next 1 year. We will give you a guarantee of that. So, that is enhancement strategy. You either make the product better, or like I was looking through some washing machines the other day, and then I saw the advertisement. I've forgotten the brand. Even if I knew the brand, I couldn't share the details here with you. But there was something about a washing machine not being rusted. They said that the body is of such a quality that it will not rust. You know, it will be in water, but nothing will happen to it. It is metallic, but it's got a protective covering on it. So, nothing will happen to it. So, it's the same thing. We have just made the product better. So that is one way of gaining advantage. The third strategy that you can use in order to gain advantage over your competitors is cost reduction. You offer the same thing for a lower price. Okay, so you make something of the same quality, but you reduce the price. Maybe you reduce frills, maybe you reduce one thing that's just for beautification, and you bring the price down. As soon as the price goes down, people will want to buy it, especially if the quality is the same. Strategic theories of HRM. The first theory that we'll deal with is the resource based view of the firm. So when we talk about strategic human resources management, we talk about various theories. The first theory that we'll be talking about is the resource based view of the firm. According to this theory, competitive advantage can only occur in situations of firm resource heterogeneity and firm resource immobility. When we talk about firm resource heterogeneity, we are talking about a wide pool of resources. We are talking about a wide variety of resources that we can pick and choose from. If we have a diverse variety of resources to pick and choose from, we will be able to get an advantage over our competitors. And firm resource immobility specifically deals with the inability of competing firms to obtain these specific resources from other firms. So we offer our clients, our customers, a larger base of things based on the larger pool of resources we have, and we have some resources that only we can have. Okay, for example, in garment manufacturing companies, you have cookie cut garments. I mean, you have standardized cut garments. You go to some shops and you will see the same colored kurtas hanging one after the other, and then you go to one shop and they have hand embroidered kurtas, and the embroidery is of a specific kind. Okay, you will not get that anywhere. So that is something that is very unique, and so that embroidery cannot be replicated. Okay, or you buy a car and there are hand painted designs on the car. You have somebody sitting in your shop who's painting these designs, or who's creating car art that cannot be replicated. So that kind of thing is there. Or you have somebody responding personally to the queries of your customers, of course, or something that you have cannot be replicated very easily by your competitors, and that gives you an advantage. Given resource heterogeneity and resource immobility and satisfaction of the requirements of value, rareness, imperfect imitability, so something that cannot be totally copied, and non-substitutability, something that cannot be completely substituted by something else, a firm's resources can be a source of sustained competitive advantage. When we talk about resource based theory, we say our resources are our biggest assets. The more unsubstitutable our resources are, the lesser the chances of somebody catching up to us. So diverse pool of resources and non-substitutable resources and very valuable resources will help us gain a competitive advantage, and the more we develop we develop these resources in order to strategically align the functions of the human resources department with the strategic objectives of the company. The second theory is the behavioral perspective. So we are in the first theory we talked about the material resources that we had. In this theory we will talk about the employee behavior as the mediator between strategy and firm performance. This assumes that the purpose of various employment practices is to elicit and control employee attitudes and behaviors. The specific attitudes and behaviors that will be most effective for organizations differ depending on various characteristics of the organizations, including the organizational strategy. In the context of strategic human resource management, these differences in role behaviors required by organization strategy require different HRM practices to elicit and reinforce those behaviors. So we are talking about the behavior of the employees. We are talking about the diversity of skills and behaviors and diversity of dealing with issues that we bring to the table as employees of an organization. Strategic human resource management is more a function of how well we bank on or how well we use the behaviors, how well we elicit, how well we take out, bring out those behaviors that are beneficial to the organization, and how well we use these behaviors towards the productivity of the organization. We are not aiming at making everybody behave the same way. We are not aiming at standardizing the way in which our employees behave. We are banking on, or we are making the maximum use of the different behaviors, the different attitudes, the different ways of dealing with different situations our employees bring to the table, and that is our biggest strength, and that helps us align our strategic goals with the strategic goals of the organization. Okay, behavioral perspective. Now, this is Schuler and Jackson's model for linking HRM practices, with the firm performance. You have business characteristics, role information. So, the information regarding the role that employees are need to play, and you mesh this or you add this to the business characteristics, and the employees are told about the needed role behaviors that feed into the human resource practices. Then more role information goes in, and the actual role behaviors are the output, and these role behaviors then help the organization achieve its objectives. Some employee role behaviors for competitive strategies are predictability versus creativity and innovation. We need to have people who are very predictable, who are used to predictable inputs, and we also need people who are creative and innovative. Okay, so the range is discussed here, and this is based on a paper, a seminal paper by Schuler and Jackson. Short term versus long term focus. Some people so how do they plan for their work? Cooperation and interdependence versus independence and autonomy. Some people are more cooperative, more team oriented. Some people are more autonomous, they are more independent in their thought and action. Concern for quality and quantity is another behavior that helps the HR strategies align with the strategies of the organization. Risk taking ability and orientation. Some people are risk takers, some people are very cautious. We need both kinds of people in the organization. Concern for process. How many people, some people are very give due consideration to the processes that are followed in the organization, some people don't. Avoiding versus assuming responsibility. Some people like to avoid responsibility, some people like to take on the responsibility of more and more things and do what they take on the responsibility for. Flexibility to change. There are some people who are resistant to change, there are some people who are very flexible. We need both kinds of people in the organization, because people who are resistant to change will be more cautious and they will ensure that due process is followed, and people who are more willing or open to change or more flexible to change will help the organization move in the new direction. So, both kinds of employees are very important. Preference for stability versus tolerance of ambiguity and unpredictability. There are people who want to know what is happening, when it's happening. They need very definitive, very clear focus, and they need to be sure of everything that is happening, and that is good because that helps keep processes in check. There are other people who are more tolerant of and open to ambiguity, and these people are good because they are risk takers, they are innovators, they are more willing to explore the new directions that the organization can move in. Range of skill application is another one. Job involvement and engagement, how involved, how engaged you are in your job, and this range, this whole list of behaviors that has been compiled by Schuler and Jackson helps us understand the behaviors that are required for us to develop competitive strategies through the human resource function that can help the organization achieve its HR objectives, or its strategic objectives, by becoming, by gaining competitive advantage among its competitors. Okay. Another theory is the theory of cybernetic systems. So, we say that the organizations are open systems, and there is an output, there is an input involved, there is some kind of process involved, and there is some kind of output. So, and this input output loop, input process output loop is completed in and through feedback that comes in from time to time, and that helps us revise this input, throughput, output loop. Okay. The cybernetic model has been shown here. It's described very well in this paper by Wright and McMahon, and the input involves the HR knowledge, skills and abilities. Throughput is HR behaviors that help us follow due process, and the output is productivity, satisfaction, turnover, profits, etc. Now, they in turn give, they feed into the firm's strategy, and there's constant input, constant feedback going into each of these stages in and through the evaluation of the firm's strategy, revisitation of the firm's strategy, and that completes the loop. So, it's more of a machine like kind of design, So, and again, if we see things, if we are able to objectively list what we bring to the table, how we do things in terms of input, throughput and output, and we are able to objectively list whatever the organization is doing, then it becomes very easy, or it facilitates our calculation of things like compensation, reward systems, maintenance of records, etc. So, this is another model that explains how strategic human resources management can help with the achievement of strategic objectives of the organization. The more clear we are, the more objective we are in maintaining our records and doing things in a systematic, in a system like manner, the more profits we can or the clearer it becomes to align the strategic objectives with the organization with what is required to go into achieving those strategic objectives. Okay. So, inputs, of course, like I told you, they are the competencies of individuals. Throughput is the behaviors of those individuals in the organizational system, and the output consists of both performance and affective outcomes. Affect relates to emotions, relates to engagement, relates to commitment, etc. Okay. Responsibilities of strategic human resource management in the cybernetic model is competence management. Competence management is those things that the organization does to ensure that the individuals in the organization have the skills required to execute a given organizational strategy. So, what needs to go in? In this, we have 4 different ways in which we can manage competencies. The first is competence acquisition. We engage or we acquire competencies. This refers to the activities such as training and selection that seek to ensure that the individuals in the organization have the required competencies. Competence utilization deals with activities that seek to utilize latent skills or skills that had been deemed unnecessary under a previous strategy. So, getting the competence, getting the skills, and then utilizing those skills. Retaining competence retention deals with retaining those skills and competencies in the organization, and competence displacement consists of activities aimed at eliminating competencies that are no longer necessary for the organizational strategy. Retaining those skills and then understanding what needs to go out of the system, what do we have that is no longer required, but that is being paid for, and replacing or modifying those competencies or the eliminating those competencies. Okay. The other responsibility of strategic human resource management is behavior management, which is concerned with ensuring that once individuals with the required skills are in the organization, they act in ways that support the organizational strategy. So, controlling behavior, monitoring behavior, performance appraisals, pay systems, etc. excuse me, and behavioral coordination. Behavioral coordination deals with appraisal and organizational development activities that seek to coordinate behavior across individuals to support the organizational strategy. So, one is control, the other is coordinate, managing the interrelationships between the behaviors of different different employees. Okay. Then the fourth theory here is the agency or transaction cost theory. Transaction costs are the costs associated with negotiating, monitoring, evaluating and enforcing exchanges between parties, and they are incurred in order to make exchanges more efficient. Agency costs are the costs associated with establishing efficient contract between the parties. And I'll just read out the last paragraph because I feel that this is very important for you to understand it. The central premise of the transaction cost approach is that the employees have strong incentives to shirk or reduce their performance, and free ride, which is rely on the efforts of others in the group, and no incentive to increase their performance unless task conditions allow employees to demonstrate their unique contributions and to benefit from these contributions. So, we have a tendency to give away or reduce our performance and rely on the efforts of others in the group, and unless we have a specific incentive to increase our performance and demonstrate what we can do, and unless we are able to see how our contributions are effective, we do not want to do anything. Okay. The competitive strategy of a firm is dependent upon various things: economic conditions, industry structure, distinct competence, competitive advantage, and product and market scope. So, various things that determine the competitive strategy of a firm. We will not deal with non-strategic models of human resource management, but I will just tell you what human resource strategy is dependent upon. Human resource strategy is dependent upon primarily the labor market, the skills and values that people bring to the table, the economic conditions, and the culture in which the organization operates. And these are some of the models, some of the things that explain how the strategic human resources needs to be or how strategy in the human resources function can be used to align human resources functions with the rest of the organization. In the next class, we will be dealing with the non-strategic models of HRM and the challenges to strategic HRM. So, thank you for listening to me, and I look forward to talking to you in the next lecture.